everybody, and welcome into Clearing the Benches, your one-stop shop for daily fresh hockey content. If you go ahead and hit your subscribe button right now, every single day we'll bring you in a new hockey video to enjoy. Well, almost every team has played a game so far in the NHL playoffs. There's just a few teams left, and they will be playing tonight. So today we're going to take a quick look at the NHL injury report for the teams that are in the playoffs. And I'll tell you what, this is when you really need your guys to be available. They've got to be able to play. No use in having like a $10 million a year superstar if the guy's on the bench and he can't play or he's up in the press box. So let's get right into it. First off, we've got the Tampa Bay Lightning. Big news that Mikail Sergachev has started skating again, and he's also started skating without a non-contact jersey on, meaning he can get bumped into. I don't think anyone's taking any runs at guys in practice these days, but he is definitely able to get bumped into, and they are trying to work him into game shape, which would be awesome for the Tampa Bay Lightning. That would really be, especially if it came down to like a seventh game, and, maybe he came out and skated warm-ups or something just as a little motivational thing. I think that would be something that could really pep up Tampa Bay. And then the only other injury I saw that they were dealing with as of this morning is that Hayden Fleury is still out indefinitely. Next up, let's go to another team that's got another big injury that they're dealing with, and that's the Toronto Maple Leafs right now, and they're dealing with William Nylander. After the Bruins game, they lost 5-1. He skated the next day. So hopefully that's good news for him. Again, they did not say a whole lot about this injury. Nobody really said how or when it happened. So maybe something happened off the ice that they just didn't want to let on about. Maybe it was just, he felt a little hiccup and he just doesn't want to put too much pressure on it to try to, make it worse than it already is. As far as the Maple Leafs also go, Bobby McCann, their forward, is questionable tonight with a lower body injury. Next up, let's get out to the Colorado Avalanche. Jonathan Drouin is out versus the Winnipeg Jets. He may be available after that, but as of now, they have said he will not be in this series. And then the other thing I saw, and this was, something I think that they really... Georgiev was just getting shelled yesterday, and he wasn't having his best game. And then when they look to the bench, you're talking about a kid who literally has not played a minute in the NHL yet. So I think if Houston Ananen can get over the flu or whatever he's got going on, just the fact that Georgiev would see him on the bench if they needed him might provide a little bit of a spark. But I'll tell you what, I think Colorado is going to be up against it against Winnipeg, and they're definitely going to need everybody healthy. And Jonathan Drouin really came into his own this year with Colorado. To me, it was like the first time in his career that he really showed out, that he could put up big numbers consistently with, high-skilled, high-name players. So that is definitely a big injury for the Colorado Avalanche, and hopefully he'll be back if they make it into the next series. And then you've got the Vegas Golden Knights, and you've got the whole LTIR situation that Kelly McCrimmon swears is all on the up and up. But I believe it's been a couple of years in a row now that Mark Stone has these mysterious illnesses or injuries, and I'm not going to say he wasn't hurt. I'm pretty sure the guy had, whatever they said was going on with the spleen. But I'll just tell you what, as a detective, it just doesn't smell right. It smells like something might be off, and there may be a little shenanigans going on after all. But the NHL says it's all on the up and up, so if that's the case, we're just going to go ahead and deal with it. Mark Stone, he's skating, and they said yes, he will be playing. Pietrangelo, same thing. Mantha, the same thing. They're all going to be a yes for tonight's game. Robin Lehner is still out indefinitely, so as far as the goaltending issues goes, it's just one less guy that they have on their roulette wheel if they need to go deeper into their goaltending skills. So next up, we've got the Dallas Stars, and they've only got one guy on their list, and he's a big name guy, Yanni Hakanpää, and he's out indefinitely with a lower body injury. They're going to need all the big bodies. They're going to need everybody. It's going to be a rough and tumble series against Vegas, and Vegas gets all these big guys back, and then they've got Hanifin now on the back end. That could be a tough one for the Dallas Stars. So I know that they're going to want to get Hakanpää back as soon as possible. And then next up, we've got the Edmonton Oilers, and they've got Matthias Janmark is dealing with some issues, and he's questionable for tonight. And then I saw that Evander Kane is dealing with a hernia issue, but he is also, they said, game time decision for tonight. So we'll see what happens with that. You know, the guy's a tough guy. He's definitely a gamer. So if it was something that he could play through, I'm pretty sure that Kane is going to play through it. And then you've got the LA Kings, and the only name I saw on their injury report was Carl Grundstrom, and they're saying that he could be back in just a few short weeks if the Kings were able to advance through the playoffs. Next up, I was looking over in the East here. You've got the Carolina Hurricanes. Jesper Fast is the only name I saw on that list this morning, and he is day-to-day dealing with a neck injury. You know, Fast is one of those guys. He doesn't show up all that much in the score sheet, but he is one of those guys. He's like one of the most valuable players of a guy who doesn't show up on the score sheet. He's one of those, I'm sure he's a great locker room guy. He definitely is a hustler. He's a guy who can steal the puck from you and do a turn and burn real quick. So I'm sure that the Carolina Hurricanes would be in a hurry to get Jesper Fast back in their lineup. And then next up, we've got the New York Islanders, and they've only got one name on their injury report, J.P. Pajot, and they're saying that he is questionable for tonight's game with a lower body injury. Pajot's another guy, you know, he's a streaky scorer. He would definitely help. The Islanders are going to need all the scoring punch they can get against Carolina. That's going to be, you know, like a series played in mud. I don't think there's going to be too many high-scoring games. I think the score of the other night is going to probably be how it goes through the whole series. And then when you look up next, you see the Washington Capitals, who are playing up against the New York Rangers, and you've got Rasmus Sandin, he's out, and then Nick Jensen, who had that, you know, pretty scary injury about a week or so ago where they, you know, took him off the ice on a stretcher. So let's hope that he is at the very least just healthy again as a regular human being. Forget about being a hockey player for now. Let's just hope the guy's healthy and he's able to live, you know, his normal day-to-day life, you know, without having to be in any kind of pain. They are both out indefinitely for the Capitals. And then the last team that I've got up on here is the Winnipeg Jets. And, you know, again, they had that crazy game yesterday, 7-6. They beat the Colorado Avalanche. But they've got to figure it out on the back end. They've got to figure it out goaltending. I know Hellebuck did not have a Vezina-type performance yesterday. And, you know, I'll tell you what, when they got up 6-4, I thought that would be the final score. I didn't think that Hellebuck was going to give up 2 more goals in that game. But Morgan Barron is a big-bodied kid, and he's out right now with a lower body injury. But they're saying that they could be looking at him before this series is over. And they're going to, you know, go over his injuries and see if he's able to play. Another kid plays a really gritty, strong game. He's a good boards presence. He's a good guy out in front of the net. So I'm sure the Winnipeg Jets would want to get Morgan Barron back in their lineup as quick as possible. So that's going to be it for today's video. I just wanted to go over the injury report real quick so everybody can kind of get a little up to date when your team's playing or your team's playing against another team, or you're just watching a game, you have a little bit of an idea of who's playing and who's not. So if you could, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. If you want to share the video, we love that. And as we always do here at Clearing the Benches, let them know you're out there.